Good morning. My name's Adam, and I've been consuming a lot of content on YouTube recently. And I thought, because I'm consuming all the time, I'm not actually creating anything. And I used to have a channel called AJ1 Books, and I thought maybe I could reignite that and create a YouTube channel rather than an Instagram channel. Also, I thought it might be nice to start documenting things because getting older and things are changing at the moment. Kids are growing up, jobs are looking uncertain, various things happening in the country which I'm sure you've all got an opinion on. And so I thought, let's just start creating. I follow a few big influencers like Gary Vee and people like that, and they're always saying start today. So I woke up at 6:30. I'm not really an early bird, but I thought, why not try and start recording a video? So I've written a few books under the guise of AJ1 Books, and one of them is about the fact that you're going to die. The title's got a swear in, so I won't say it because it's early here and it might be early there. Let me know what time it is. And the idea behind that book is to really make people value their lives and focus on the things, the here and now and what they've got, rather than looking off to the future or reflecting on the past. And I've been thinking about that book a lot recently, and I can't find it, so I'm going to have to order a new one. But it's on Amazon. It's called You're Going to Effing Die. But I want to show the cover, and hopefully if I make more videos I might be able to show you. Or this might just be a one-off video and I never record another one. But I feel that at this moment in time there's so much consumption, and I saw this a guy on YouTube called Connor. I forget his last name, sorry Connor, but he was talking about the fact that people are consuming so much they're not creating, and this really resonated because I'm in a band, but the band hasn't practiced for a good while or done a gig. I've written books, but I haven't written for a good while. I have just been receiving information, and not all of it good. So I've deleted X and Instagram because I found myself adopting negative opinions. And that's not to say that I haven't got negative opinions, so I'm like everybody else. But I feel like those apps were compounding that. So hopefully this channel might be a source of positivity. If you are scrolling and consuming, maybe you might want to consume somebody who's going to try and put a positive spin on things. And if they're not positive, it might be balanced for you. And I was reflecting on my old channel. So under AJ1 Books, it's still on Instagram, you can go and have a look. While I was doing that channel, I looked back at the material on there, and a lot of it was like I was having to go at people, like trying to convince, even the title of my book, You Are Going to Effing Die, it's quite aggressive. Maybe that's not what people want to hear. Some people do need a good slap in the face and be told cold, hard facts. But I had a boss called Mick, who's passed away now. And his favourite saying was, you catch more flies with sugar than salt. Meaning, obviously, if you're sweeter, you get more coming back to you. People liking you and getting things done. And since that old channel, I've become maturer, and I've realised that I don't have to shout at people to get things across. You can just talk. And I found that with my kids as well. You know, the more I talk and negotiate, the better, rather than jumping down their throats, scaring the life out of them, making them fear me, which is not something that I ever want or wanted, which hopefully they don't. And also, the content that I've been consuming more recently has been a lot calmer. So it's just people walking along a canal towpath, talking about their lives, which is kind of what I'm going to be doing with this channel, and hopefully talking direct to you, and hopefully you'll take something from it and I'll be of service to you. And whenever I say that or hear that phrase, I always think of John Wick. So just so you know, I'm not offering any hitman services or anything like that. Although if my job goes, you never know. So yeah, this channel, I'll probably do it under AJ1 Books, but it's going to be a lot calmer. It's hopefully going to be like a warm hug for the soul. Maybe some company. So I watch a guy called Beard Meets Food. I'm sure you've heard of him. He's fantastic. But I put him on the background when I'm working from home, and it's kind of like somebody just there with me, chatting to me. I don't know him. I've never met him, although he's got the same name as me. My name's not Beard Meets Food. I haven't got a beard, but his name's Adam, and it's kind of like I'm having a chat with him. So hopefully, you know, I might fill the gap of loneliness. I'm not lonely, like I'm married with 2 kids, but sometimes that feeling of loneliness can appear even when you're in a crowded room, even when you're with your loved ones. But I'm talking about isolation, literally working on my own from home. Also looking at more Stoicism, so Stoic books. So I've got a book by Ryan Holiday that I'm reading at the moment. I might reflect on that, as well as my own book, as well as other books. I've got lots of books to recommend. I love reading. Although at the moment, nothing that's going to help you, but it's a really good book. I'm reading Hotel Avocado by Bob Mortimer. Bob Mortimer's a hero of mine. In fact, he's a hero of the family, and we love that. But yeah, I'm going to probably record maybe one every couple of days, maybe try and do it more often, but try and document what's happening in my life, but also documenting thoughts and feelings that arise. Read some of my books. Maybe I might read the kids' books if anybody's interested in me reading those. You know, it could be a bedtime story while I'm reading it to my little one. But yeah, let's see how it goes. 2025, new year, feels like it's going to be positive. Hopefully all of the things that are an issue in the news resolve themselves. I'm not sure how easy that's going to be. Donald Trump was inaugurated yesterday, so let's see what Donald Trump can do, or Donald Pump as my kids call him. And hopefully this channel will take off. Might be able to quit my job and live in Barbados, and then I can document it from there rather than sunny Birmingham. It's not so sunny. But yeah, if you have picked this up, I just want you to know that there's always hope somewhere. And if you are feeling lonely, just remember that you are always with you, so you've always got a companion. I used to hate being on my own. I used to really, you know, if I was travelling somewhere, I would be on the phone to somebody to try and not be on my own, in order to not hear my own thoughts and hear my own negativity. And after something happened when I was younger, I found myself on my own. My parents had moved away, split up with my girlfriend, I had an extensive period on my own, where interestingly I made a lot of airfix models while I was drunk. I couldn't make them when I was sober, but I'd wake up in the morning after I'd had a few drinks, and these airfix models would be there, weirdly. And yeah, anyway, I digress. And but I spent a lot of time on my own, and that really helped me build my confidence, because it stopped me worrying about other people's thoughts and opinions. I started reading a lot, and gradually I learned to love my own company. Now I love it. If I drive anywhere, I'm listening to Audible, or I've got the radio off and I'm just having a good old think to myself. And you might not like your thoughts, but all I'm going to say is they are just thoughts. They're not you. Just let them. If they're not serving you, like John Wick, then let them pass. Just imagine them drifting off. Because a lot of the time, in fact, all of the time, if you think about it, if there's anybody doing any sabotaging, it's us, because we're thinking about the thing that's making us feel negative. If we can avoid that thought or move on from it, then that helps us, because the person who said the thing has probably forgotten that they've even said it, yet we're still thinking about it. It's still in our mind. So I'll be talking about that. One of my big things that I love to read about is the 3 principles. There was a guy called Sydney Banks, and I heard of him through an author called, what's his name? Oh, that's frustrating. He's really good as well. And I can't check my phone because I'm recording. But anyway, Sydney Banks said that our lives are made up of mind, consciousness and thought. That's not mind in your head. It's not your brain that we call mind, but here's mind. It's like the platform of a game. And consciousness is the awareness, so that's switching the game on. And then the thought is us playing the game. And the more that we think, the more that we have thought, the less like we are attached to mind, because we're all attached. Like if you're looking at me, we're all attached. You know, even though we might look differently, and you know, we've learned to separate ourselves and say me and my. We're all together. But the more that we separate ourselves, the worse it gets. So we need to sort of almost re-link back up together. But this guy said that your thoughts, the more that you think, the more you think about something, the more there's a problem. So say if you've got a problem at work, if you go home and think about that problem, it becomes a problem. If you don't think about it, it's not a problem, because the next day you're going and you can deal with it there and then in the moment. But by thinking about it, you actually compound it and make it worse. And then you might do something that's not very good or appropriate or whatever. So yeah, I'll be talking about the 3 principles a lot because I love it. I think they are what life is made up of, and hopefully you'll enjoy the channel. And I'll be sharing lots of things, but a lot calmer than I was before, because I am 44, coming up to 45, and I don't want to be walking along the road or in the middle of a forest shouting at people going, "You are going to fucking die." Well, maybe I might do one of these days, but at the moment, it's calm and relaxed. I hope you have a great day. Please leave a comment if you are planning to start a channel yourself, or if you've got any tips or any feedback. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell button for all. I've heard that. That's what everybody says, isn't it? So, and I'll speak to you soon.